All right, how's it going, everybody? I've had a few questions over the last several years about what I do in the back of the truck to live out of it so comfortably, or as comfortably as you can, because I do spend a considerable amount of time in the truck. I cut video in the truck, I sleep in the truck, I eat out of the truck. So I figured I'd just drag the camera as I'm loading this thing. It's mid-October, it's fixing to be a busy November, so we're fixing to load this thing up and get it full. So before I did, I thought I would drag the camera in there and kind of show you what I got going on, what I've found that works, and that kind of thing. So let's go. So all right, guys, we're gonna hit this pretty quick because a lot of these build out explanations, blah, 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 they get lengthy and ain't nobody got time for that. So just put your ears on because I'm fixing to give you the look at this whole situation I got going on here. First things first, 6.5 foot bed on this Tacoma. Standard beds are 5.5 foot bed nowadays, and that ain't worth the flip. You can't lay down, you can't get your legs straight. Definitely recommend a 6.5 foot bed. If you're over 6.5 feet, get the 8 foot bed or something, but most of us, 6.5 foot, it's gonna be plenty for us to lay down flat and get comfortable. I got the side opening doors on my cap because I like being able to reach in. If I got something up here, I'd hate having to go all the way around the back and climb in every day. So I got the side opening doors. That's been very, very helpful. You can see it's open there. You'll also notice that I put some of the stuff off Amazon. I'll link it if I can find it, but it's just some of the, you know, blackout sticky stuff so that you can clip it onto the glass and not have people look in and you can't look out. But most importantly, it blacks it out if you're napping during the middle of the day. It gets surprisingly dark in there. I don't have a problem sleeping in there at lunch in a Walmart parking lot if I need to. So anyways, that's some of the stuff we're looking at from here. We'll go around to the back. You'll see in the very back, you can see some reflectix I have on the window in the front of the cap. Usually I have reflectix on these side doors as well, because when you're warm on the inside, cold on the outside, you'll get condensation, especially around those metal frames of the windows and doors and whatnot. So the reflectix I have noticed helps with that condensation and kind of keeping your stuff dry. I also have a small battery operated fan. I'll show you a second. It's always circulating air in there while I'm sleeping. Also helps cut down on the condensation, as well as just keeping moisture out of the bed of the truck. You got wet boots or something, don't put them back there with you. Put them somewhere else. Put them in the front of the truck or whatever, because right here where you're sleeping and all your stuff you need to keep dry. I'd suggest keeping as much moisture out of there as possible. Moving on in, you'll notice I have some of the anti-fatigue stuff back here. I even glued a piece down with some silicone right here on the back of the truck, because this is the knee saver, getting in and out of the back of the truck. This is nice. Also, you'll notice that I have the anti-fatigue. Now this is a spring old, so you can tell it's got a little wear on it, but I have this piece cut so that I can pull it out, because usually my boots and stuff getting in and out of the truck, this is where the mud falls, and I like being able to get it out, shake it out, and even wash it from time to time. You can take that one out too. It's just more of a pain in the rear if it's all one piece. So I keep me a little broom here to keep this swept out, because you know I'm a tidy person. So anyway, over here you'll notice there is a track. Like this is like a cooler slide or whatever. I got it I think from a company called IceCo, because I bought one of their, it's a Dometic fridge knockoff, one of the 12 volt fridges that I had plugged into my power source up here. It didn't work for me. I bump and knock around all the rock roads. The 12 volt outlet kept sliding out of this, and my stuff would get ruined because it would get warm. So I have found just a Arctic or Yeti cooler. It almost fits in there. It fits in there close enough, but essentially this thing just slides so you can get in and out of your cooler a lot easier. So I have that. Moving on in, because I wanted to keep this quick, here's my build out. So essentially I just built out, I can't remember how many inches, but it's about this far, about this many inches out. It's not, you don't need as much, or I don't need as much width as you would think you would need to sleep. It's plenty roomy enough. I haven't fell off in the floor many times. This slides out. It's full of food. It's full of whatever you want to put in there. There you go. That slides. I've got food in mine and some extra fuel, some Ziplocs, blah, blah, blah. But that slides in there. That's how you do that. I have these two cushions a buddy of mine made me, and I had it put in two pieces. You can see, and I had him give him the dimensions for the outside of my stuff. So basically he's able to get me made up there. I'm gonna remove these to show you. I had the cushions made into two pieces for this reason. I have this I didn't like having to get out and slide this out if I wanted something in here and while I was already in the truck. So essentially, if you were in there doing whatever, sleeping, you were in a Walmart parking lot, you were at a National Forest gate, you were anywhere, you had to get out of the truck, pull this out if you wanted this bag of chips right here. So what I did was made the top of it flip open so I could get into it from the inside. I'd just take one of those cushions, sit on one, slide the other in the floor, prop it open, get what I wanted, and never had to get out of the back of the truck. So that's why that's like that. That's the way I built that for that reason. So we have that. I also, in the little cubbies, you get these because you got a wheel well there you got to deal with. So these little cubbies I have, this one has tripod in it, a tool roll for tools and stuff. So it gives you a little extra storage, and those just slide back down in there like so. We'll climb up in here and keep on rolling through. My slide stops right here. So I have additional storage back here, and that's where I put stuff I don't need that often, usually some recovery stuff, ratchet straps. I think I have my hammock and stuff like that back there right now. This little cubby pivots open, and I might use something here that I might use a little more often that I can reach right over in there and get. Onward to the front, this is the cord that goes to a solar panel that I have mounted in the basket on top of the cap. Solar panel obviously feeds my Jackery 1000 Explorer power bank station or whatever. The solar panel is a good idea. It does keep it topped off if you're not putting a lot of use on it, but it's not a sole charging source. So I guess what I'm saying is it works well for keeping the thing topped off to charge camera batteries, phones, that kind of stuff. But if you start putting a heavy load on this Jackery, like the laptop for instance, it'll keep the laptop running for several hours. But that solar panel, even with a few days, is not going to charge that Jackery back up to 100%. You're going to have to find a wall outlet somewhere to plug into. But the solar panel, like I said, it does keep it topped off. What I do have is a 12 volt wired into my truck battery. And so it's run from my truck battery all the way back here, and there's a switch in the cab of my truck. While I'm running, while I, 10-hour drive, 6-hour drive, whatever, I'll flip this on, and I typically have my 12 volt plug plugged into the other input, and I can charge the Jackery from the truck battery. So that's another option. Between those two, I can usually keep it topped off well enough to keep everything I need running. So we'll flip back around. Opposite the bed, I have this little countertop that I have built out here. Just give me a little workspace. I have this little cubby hole cut in it you can remove. I have like a cast iron, some charging stuff back here. I have this little fan that I mentioned earlier. That's how I keep the air circulating. Can't live without it when you're sleeping, especially if it's a little bit warm out. But that keeps me circulating and air moving. This just goes right back down in there like so. Moving on down, there's the cooler. So one thing that I built out, I mentioned earlier, okay, I'm putting this camera on the cooler, looking back into me. So I sit in the bottom of the truck like this, and I have up under this cabinet here I just showed you, this little piece pops up. I've got some little locking arms up under it. This provides a flat surface for me, and I put my laptop right here and I can work. So I can sit here, cushion behind me, cushion up under me, I'm comfortable. Laptop's laying here, my Jackery's right under my arm. I've got my laptop plugged in there, keeping the laptop charged. And I can work here for, the end of time. Or until I run out of power. So you just take, it's got little locking arms, you just press them, and back down it goes, and you have your little aisleway to get in and out of the truck here. So just recapping, going over everything. There's the build, there's the slide out. I got the little additional storage up at the front, got the additional storage on the sides, the slider for the cooler. There's the piece that swings out with the little locking arms up under it, so I got a workspace. The little cubbies right there for my additional storage, my countertop where I leave my phone and stuff when it's time to charge in the Jackery. There's a little cord that goes under for the solar panel. So yeah, that's the truck I live out of. So it's worked for me. There's been some significant improvements from the beginning when it used to just be a cot slung up in there and a cooler. But is there room for improvement? Probably. Still not Sprinter van worthy. I'm not doing the Sprinter van yet. But you know, that works for me. You see anything that needs improvement, you let me know, something to make life easier. I'm all up for some improvements where I can, but that's worked for now. Hey, we appreciate you guys joining us for this video. If you like this one, you'll probably like the next one. I'll leave it up here in the corner. Don't forget to subscribe and follow along with us, or leave our social media links down at the description below. That's also where you'll be able to find links on the turkey calls we use and the apparel we wear and that kind of stuff. So you can find that in that little drop down description below. And as always, we sure appreciate you guys following along.